to start, get all your paint ready in your palette and pick up your pencil. You're going to measure about 3 fingers from the top of your canvas, and we're going to draw the moon. So if to draw the moon, you want to move your hand in a circular motion before you put your pencil on the canvas, and then just gently lower it down. Next, we're going to draw the top of the house. So this is going to be the roof, and it's kind of like a weird triangle shape, and it comes about halfway down from the moon. Now don't worry, this doesn't have to be perfect. You won't see any of these lines afterwards when it's been painted. This is just to give you a little bit of an outline. You can make your house as big or as small as you like it to be. And you can see I've just gone in from that triangle, and I'm coming out now and doing the side of the walls. Don't press too hard on your canvas with your pencil, you just want a nice light sketch. Let's pop in the door. Now at this point, we're going to put in the roof window. So you just do a little arch where the window is and join it up with the line. On this video, I did put the windows in. But you don't need to do that right now. What I realised was when we paint over it, you don't see the windows, so we'll put them in later. So don't bother about doing that stage. So now you've got your basic shape, and you're going to put your chimney on, so that goes out of the roof and up towards the top of the moon, but not quite at the top. And there we are, that's our basic shape for the house. I'm going to put the second part of the arch in, which is like a horseshoe shape around the window. And now we're going to pick up our big paintbrush. So this is your biggest paintbrush. I'm using a round head paintbrush. That's just the shape of the bristles. These are all paintbrushes that are not animal hair. They are suitable for acrylics. They're also suitable for watercolour. And we're just going to start painting around the edge of that moon with the black. This is the one that we're going to do. Now if you find that your paint's too dry and it's not going on as well, just add a bit of water and it'll go on a lot easier. And as this video goes on, I'm not going to talk you through it. It's just easy to be visual and follow step by steps. So we're just going to paint around the moon first, and the idea is in this you're going to paint all the background and then have a little break and then paint in the details. You don't really want to be painting on top of wet paint those details at the end. But what you do want to do is, for this first part, move quite quickly as you are painting. Don't worry about being perfection or getting it all properly correct. You just want to get it on, and we're putting this paint over the top of each colour to blend it in. And the reason you want to move quite quickly on this part is because you need the paint wet for blending the colours. So enjoy, and I would love to see what you create when you've done your own witch's house. So please do share it with me. I'd love to see it, and happy painting! As I'm blending in this paint, you will see that I'm going to pick up a sponge. So the sponge is really a good tool to use for blending, and I'm going to pat down on the canvas to blend the colours together using one of the corners of the sponge. What you don't want to do is mix up your colours. So on one corner you'll have your dark colour, and then on another corner of the sponge you'll have your white. So I'm moving quite quickly to blend these colours in. And you can add more and more to the sponge if you want, and also add it to the canvas. If you think, oh, I need it to be a bit darker in this part, add a bit more paint and just dab it on. Don't feel like you're going to have to do this properly the first time you do it. It does take a little while to get used to using a sponge, but it is a really nice technique for blending. Using the flat head brush, and it's called that because the top of it's flat, we're going to now paint some pine trees. This is really easy to do. Make sure that your black paint is loose enough to move. You just do a line up and then flicks out to the side and then flicks out to the other side, and that's how you make your pine trees that go in the background. And if you feel like you want to add more, you can go ahead and add more, as many as you want. Now over the top of these will be bigger trees, so these are just in the background, so don't worry about them being perfect. It's all about the process, and have faith that when you've finished it'll all be beautiful. We're going to mix a bit of the lighter brown with some of the white to make like a barley colour, like a beigey colour, and this is going to go on the house. Now go in the way that the bricks would form, so across the house. So you want your paint to go that way, like the bricks would go across. So make a colour that you're happy with, add a bit of black to this if you want to make it a little bit darker. And once you've got your colour, then start popping it onto your walls. We're going to swap brushes now to the thin brush, and this is so you can make some grass. We want texture in the grass to make it look like it would be kind of like a wild meadow. And you can use a combination of any of the greens, adding bits of yellow, bits of brown, just to make the grass look more grassy than flat. And I'm using this thin brush and flicking upwards. So use the brush and the bristles to flick upwards to make the grass shape. And you can see that I'm flicking upwards over the back and over the house, so you've not got that flat line where the house meets the grass, because grass naturally grows upwards. So just carry on doing this in different colours, and you can dab your brush as well, like I'm doing here, to give you that nice grassy texture, and do it in all different levels and layers, because nature grows wild, doesn't it? So this is just what we're doing at the moment to make the grass look better. We're going to put some shade in now with some dark brown on the chimney, and you will put this on the left hand side. So you just want to strip down with that dark brown paint, And then you can add a little bit of the barley colour to blend it in if you need to. It just gives it that little bit of shading to make your house seem 3D. You can do this under the windows, round the door and under the roof as well. So we're going to use our sponge again, and we're going to blob in the white and just dab it very gently around the moon. Remember to use a different corner of the sponge, not the corner that had the dark colour on. And we're going to dab it all the way around, and we're making the halo of the moon now. And don't worry, right now it looks like we've got this big white bit. We're going to blend that in using the sponge. Using your flathead brush now, we're going to start making some bricks, just blending in that chimney. So using the shape of the brush with different brown colours, just make these bricks at random. You don't want this to be uniform, you want it to be random all over the house. A bit of the white with some of the brown, so you get nice lighter effects, and then in other random places you do the same thing, so you're using the flat of the brush to make these bricks. So we're now going to use the paintbrush but in a different way. So we'll use the bottom of the paintbrush, and this is to make the stars in the sky. So I'm dabbing the paintbrush end into the paint, and you might have to keep adding paint to it because they run out quite quick. And if you need to, add a bit of water to it, and just keep dabbing it on to make different star shapes. So some will be bigger than others. I'm using the different paintbrush now to make a different size, and I'm going to dab that in, and I'm just looking to see, right, where should they go. Stars are really random, so you want to do them in random places and at random sizes as well. So see, I'm making these little clusters, and then I'll move on to a different part of the canvas. So to make the smoke out the chimney look more smoke-like, get your sponge, check that you've not got paint on it in your corner, and just sponge it out so it makes that wispy, smoky kind of effect on your painting. I'm just using the thin paintbrush now, and I'm looking to see what else needs shading. So these steps need a bit more shading to make them look like they're actually 3D. And just look at your painting now and think, okay, what else could I shade? So I'm using a bit of the dark brown, doing the steps, and I'm gonna just touch up little areas where I think it might need it some more. Now, on your painting, it might be in different areas than that I'm doing, so just use your intuition here and see what needs making, like it's popping out of the canvas more. So when we're painting, things can often look really flat, but actually we want them to stand out like the solid objects. So just have a look at your painting and see what you can see. And I'm not only using the dark colours to do the shading, I might also add a little bit of the white in different places, depending on what it needs. So at this point, use your intuition. So let's work more into that grass. So I'm mixing up some of the light green paint and a bit of the yellow to give it a different colour. And we're going to work into that grass and do some more blades of grass or maybe some mossy effects. Just have a look at your grass, what needs adding. See at the bottom of the trees, we can add some more so it doesn't look like they're just stuck on. I'm going to use some red and orange and maybe a little bit of yellow to add some extra bits to the grass now, as if there's mushrooms and flowers and things like that growing. So it's in a little bit of a grassy meadow with some wildflowers. And you can just look and add these wherever you feel necessary. I'm going to start touching up the roof now because as I've painted on the canvas, there's marks appeared in different places. So I'm just touching up the edge of the roof so it gets a nice clean finish on it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to paint some ivy up the side of the cottage. I thought it'd look cute. And at first it did, but then I soon realised that it was a mistake. So you'll see in a minute that I have realised this and I will edit it. And the way that I edit it is to add more water to my brush. So I clean my brush, add more water to it, and then blend it into the background. It just didn't work. I thought it'd look cute and pretty, but it just looked weird. It didn't pop out like ivy should do. It looked flat, and I was like, no, that's not it. So this is a nice lesson. If you do something on your painting, you think, actually, I don't actually like it, you can change it. So I'm going to mix in some of that brownie colour now and add some water and blend it in. And at first you're like, oh my God, what have I done? I've ruined it. But you'll soon see that after a lot of blending and a lot of washing round and moving it and stuff, it actually looks all right. So never fear if you've made, I don't like calling them mistakes, but if you've painted something you're like, oh, I really don't like that, you can go back in and sort it out. So don't panic if you do that.